Alright, welcome back everyone to Diddly Squat Gaming. I just want to start off and say that I am a moron. So apparently these vehicles that I was looking at in the that are in the DLC that I got when I purchased the game. Yeah, I never realized that I own these vehicles. So like, yeah. I totally thought that I had to buy these vehicles. Didn't realize I actually own them. So because I own them, I can sell them. So I can make the game a little bit easier on myself. So I actually want to double check. I'm going to mainly focus on the tires. And this truck I can't really do anything with. And this truck, tires. Yeah, again, I don't have anything that I can really use. So what I'm going to do is actually go back and store these guys. This one is worth $78,800, so I am going to go ahead and sell this cat. 60. Okay, so it's the CT681. I'm gonna go. Yeah, so I can technically repurchase this vehicle if I want, but I'm not gonna do that. I am going to go after this off-road International Paystar 5070. I think right now, although this one might be an option as well. Technically, I could buy both of these if I sell the other truck. Let's actually preview this real quick. Let's look at the tires. There is an all-terrain tire that comes with this truck. It's got 64-gallon capacity and not really too much anything else. The diff lock is engageable, and it doesn't seem to have all-wheel drive, so I'm assuming that means that it's basically equipped on the truck, which it should be because that front transaxle there, or not transaxle, but the front differential and axle actually is showing the four-wheel drive system, so that should be on this truck. If we look at this Russian truck, and we all know Russian trucks are usually way better. This actually does come with off-road tires. It does have a front differential, and I believe the suspension is a little higher, so I think what we're going to do is go with this truck. We're going to give this a spin today. It is going to allow me to... Yes, we're going to keep those tires. Did I? That was weird. See, this International, if we store it, is worth $172,000. I don't know if that's just a brand new truck or why this one's so much more expensive, but let's sell this one too, because I don't really feel like buying that one. We're going to deploy this truck. I'm not sure why it was stored. We can actually sell this truck as well. And we'll get another $31,000. So we have made quite a bit of money just getting rid of things we don't need. So for this game, we're going to go to the truck store. We're going to purchase this truck, and we're going to purchase this truck. So we have still $155,000, which is pretty good. Actually, As you can see, both these trucks are pretty well equal, based on looks alone. This is 53. We can pay to put the super duper power engine in it, whatever you want to call it. But I think for now, what we're going to do is just go to add-ons. We are not going to be adding a crane because, well, this truck doesn't have a crane. So that might play into whether or not we use this truck, because this truck here, oops, does come with a crane. Knock on wood. I think. Yes. Ooh. So let's go ahead and throw that one on. And then we'll also throw on the low saddle. So as of right now, this truck has highway tires on it. So let's go ahead and pay for the off-road tires. I believe that's the only size and type that we can get. And if we wanted to, we could, for scrap for cash, sell these tires for $3,600. But yeah, so first things first is we are going to jump into this truck because I have actually never driven this truck before. There's one other thing I want to do that really isn't pertinent, but I do not like, is the stock crooked exhaust there. It doesn't sit well with me. So I do like that one. I like just how massive and overdone it is. But we are going to go with this one because that's the only option we have. Other than that, I don't really care about the rims, which doesn't really matter anyways. Let's just scroll through the options there. Side thresholds. I'm not really sure what those are. I think there might be that step. Or yeah, I haven't looked at this truck enough to know. And it's not gonna let me see that. Yeah, so it's those extra low steps. We're gonna leave those off for obvious reasons. It's not a bad looking bumper. And that's the stock bumper. So we're gonna leave it the stock bumper for now. I would kind of prefer if the game developers didn't give you a winch on the stock bumper and you had to upgrade to something like this to be able to get the winch. But that's not the way the game goes, so but anyways, let's get to business. We've almost wasted 10 minutes looking at trucks and sitting in the garage, so now we will still have... Oh, I guess this is the downside of a Russian truck, is that there's some heavy smog going on. I don't think they have the regulations that the US trucks would have on them, so but anyways, without that, you know what, I think this drainage quest, I was going to do this in a scout, but I think this might be a good test for this truck. Yeah, I think it will be. So let's go get this one first, because I think this is going to be the hardest one to get. So let's spin around. Yes, we do have all-wheel drive. It's always active, and so is the diff lock, so it will be kind of interesting. And as you can see, this is straight up bare bones. Pretty typical of the Russian vehicles. They do not build anything for comfort. But don't hold that against me, because they might. But I highly doubt it. We're going to go up this track and see. This truck doesn't even hesitate. Didn't even hesitate. I really think this is going to be so much faster now. Hopefully this will remove any of the long, boring scenes of the game where you're just holding down the accelerator and you're just inching through buckets of mud. So, but yeah, this thing is in quite impressive for 70. I think, what was it, $78,000, something along those lines. So we're gonna go straight for it, and I don't even think I'm gonna stop. Whoa. Alright, that's a little deep. So maybe we will go this way a bit more and follow the shoreline there. So I was kind of questioning whether or not this truck had a snorkel, if that pipe on the left there, that actually counted as a snorkel, and well, yes it does count, so that's always good. It's a little weird that the exhaust and the air intake are a couple feet apart, but you know, that's the way the Russian designs were. So what I might do as well, since I'm here, is take care of this heavy truck. Alright, so we got the one pump. That was pretty uneventful. It's almost, I want to say almost too easy. Here we're gonna have to winch ourselves out. I don't know, maybe going with the low. Let's see if I can attach. Ooh, I just can make it. Can we bust this truck free? Doesn't seem to want to move because of the hill that it's dug into, so we might have to get creative to get this. Yeah. Alright, well, let's attach the winch. Let me... Okay, it won't let me attach to the back. So let's go ahead and... Oops. Throw it back in auto. And slowly pull ourselves out of this mud. I'm gonna bump it. And we are going to kind of yank this truck from the back. We're going to twist it around, which I think is probably the best way to get it away from that hill. Once we get this truck facing in the right direction, none of this seems to be working. This truck is stuck. Let's try... You know what? I think I'm gonna let this one slide right now. Let's go ahead and yank ourselves out. I'm gonna have to come back with some a bit more muscle. I may have to bring the new International along with this truck. I doubt the old one, but maybe the 2070. But yeah, let's go ahead and head out. Ooh. That was a bumpy ride. pretty nice how you can see the articulation in the wheels and whatnot. So let's go ahead and shoot over to this pump. And then the final pump is way over here. So that may take most of the episode just to get to these two other pumps. But again, this truck just seems to crawl through most of the troubles that we were trying to get through on the last episode. So this truck seems a little over P. It seems a little overpowered for this early of a map. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to decide on whether or not I find it too powerful, because this here is usually a test to get through, and I am just coasting through it. I'm not even sure my Fleet Star could get through there without getting stuck. But anyways, I think maybe what we'll do is we'll do this drainage task, and then we will put this truck away and try the international, the new one, and see how well it does. This is probably one of the bad things. I should look into the settings and see if I can turn off the smoke. It just kind of ruins looking at the vehicle while you're driving. You're just staring at a black cloud of smoke. Ooh, that was an odd random damage that I just took. Been up and down this road how many times and never had any damage in this area? Anyways, yeah, so let's get this truck or the pump, sorry, not the truck. I didn't really pay attention. The other, yeah, so this has about the same gas rate or consumption rate, I guess is the best way to say it. Let's just go straight for it. Water looks deep, but I don't think it's overly deep. But it is overly soft. Alright, well, it's good to know that this truck isn't invincible. Let's attach the winch. We need that tree there. We're gonna have to not go at this one straight. Thinking what we're gonna have to do is try to come at the side of this. Yay, that was much easier. So that's taken care of. And what's the best way to get out of this mess? Straight? No, there's a guardrail up there, so we'll never get up and over that. So let's try to find a tree that we won't break. And try to double back towards the road. Alright, I was afraid this truck was going to be a little overpowered. But it looks to be okay. You know, once we get some weight on the trailer, it might, it will probably actually make it better. But I think once we get loaded down, it might did not make that turn. It might be okay. I'm really not a fan of that smoke. So let's actually turn the truck off. Go into settings, although I don't know if it really mattered. Exhaust. Don't think there is. Volumetric fog. It probably wouldn't be under that. I think that's the only place that you would. Yep, okay. Doesn't look like we can affect the exhaust or turn it off. I just want to turn it down a little bit. I understand it's a Russian vehicle and that it, well, basically just is straight exhaust with no, probably doesn't have a catalytic converter. Probably doesn't use DEF fuel. Although I don't know if, I'm assuming diesels would have some type of catalytic converter. But I could be wrong. I've never owned a diesel vehicle before, so please let me know in the comments, obviously. Or if you want, just straight up email me, I don't care. And yeah, tell me I'm wrong or let me know that I'm right. But I definitely know this doesn't seem to have any DEF fuel. So let's blast through these. Yep, take some damage as usual. A lot of damage. Holy crap. That was a ridiculous amount of damage. Come on, seriously? Okay, we are refueled, and let's head up over. Let's head up over to the last pump. Pretty sure we gotta go straight through town, past the watchtower that's on the left, and then it's somewhere back in that waterlogged area. So the big thing I want to pay attention to is supposedly these pumps are to suck out the water that's in the areas. So I kind of want to take a screenshot or look and see if after completing this task if the water level actually goes down. I feel like if it doesn't, it's just lazy programming, but I'm hoping the developers would have actually had the water level dissipate after the pumps get turned on, even if it's not right away. I mean, that would be even better, but I would be okay if it, oh, you complete the mission and all the water's been pumped out. Obviously it would take some time. Let's actually check a look at the map and see. We have a stuck trailer and we have that. So let's drive all the way around. We're gonna attack this from the north side. But yeah, I'd really like to see the water start to disappear. Like I said, even if it's not right away, if it's the next day or, you know, basically a couple days from now that the water actually goes down. But I highly doubt that's gonna happen. So there's a trailer. We might try to get that out. I'm still not 100% sure. I think what we'll do is we'll go down the second path that you saw there. The one that's closest to the pump itself. And we'll try that. I believe that's in here. Just around the corner. So that's the trail down to the trailer, so that's probably where we'll pull up the trailer. looks like a little walking path. Not very wide. And it is fairly muddy, so luckily we don't have to worry about coming back up this way. I think this is shallow enough. Looks like it's going to. We're just gonna slowly pull ourselves through this. We'll be able to get through it, no problem. And this all looks nice and shallow. So we're just gonna go straight for it. Be farther away from this. That out of the way. And then this is the final bump. Perfect. We got $3,000, which, well, honestly, doesn't really mean much anymore because we sold those 2 trucks that were worth close to $300,000 each. Or not each, but combined. Let's try to make our way over for this. It's kind of funny. Stuck trailers here. It won't let me start it. That's annoying. Alright. I think what we'll do is we'll get this truck over there. And then maybe we'll get in the International Fleet Star and or maybe we'll be recovering this. Try to fight through this and not just jump right on the recovery bandwagon. Should have plenty enough points to winch to through here. I'm also hoping that we can get through this without using too much gas. I really want to end my momentum. There we go. Slide this way. Probably could actually hook up to the trailer as well. Oh goody. Now that I'm here I can actually start it, so that's perfect. Actually show task. Start tracking it. There we go. What? Oh. Optical illusion there. A little too far. Alright, and we're going to shut off the truck and we are going to spend the night here. Luckily, by the powers of magic, it is morning now. Go ahead and yank this trailer out and up the hill. Yeah, this trailer is much more powerful, but it could just be the tires. I would like to see the International International Police are. I'd like to see it kind of compared to this truck with the same tires. I'm sure this one would probably still win, just because it does have the all-wheel drive diff lock on all the time. But that just makes it kind of easier to drive. It makes it more lazy. I don't have to worry about shifting it in and out of all-wheel drive, shifting it in and out of the diff lock. Not to mention you can have the diff lock on at a higher rate of speed. You don't have to be in that low gear to engage your diff lock. So it would be interesting to kind of run a test and see. Obviously, knowing that this truck would be more superior, I'm just wondering how much more. That's the real question. But anyways, let's get this thing stopped. And yeah, I guess that's about right. Looks like we're supposed to go that way, but we definitely go left. So I think this truck with a logging trailer, which, now that I think about it, I don't remember seeing a logging trailer for this one. Might make logging on this map a lot. Now I know they've included farming in this game as well, but I don't know if you have to have I believe the combine or the harvester in order to actually start farming. I'm not really sure. I haven't seen how the farming's done in this game. I just kind of chuckled when I found out that there's farming in this game. So, but here we go. We are dropping off the stuck trailer. We are slowly running out of things to do on this map. So, getting kind of exciting. We're getting close, at least with the task. There's not too many of them left, so the missing trailer way over there, isn't it? Yeah, so I got that truck and that. So you know what? Let's go ahead and recover. We are done for today with that truck, but let's head out with this truck. See what we got here. Okay, we do have all-wheel drive, we have diff lock, so let's go ahead and throw that back in auto, turn off our four-wheel drive, and let's try. Let's actually take this through the mud. We had a pretty good estimate of what the Russian truck did through this mud here on the just to the right here. So let's see what this truck can do through the same mud. We'll throw it in all-wheel drive for now. I think both trucks, no, I think this is all-terrain tires where the other one is mud terrain. So the tires on the other truck are a little bit better. Oh, that hurt. That hurt a lot. Let's see where we're at. Oh, doing pretty well through this mud. Not too shabby. I mean, it's definitely an upgrade over the Fleet Star that we had, so. Well, I believe this is an International Fleet Star. 5070. I already forgot the name. Yeah, it's 5070 Paystar. What did I say? I don't know. I just said it 2 minutes ago. But that wasn't too shabby. Let's go ahead and recover because we're not really going anywhere. The MK38. Let's actually jump into the Fleet Star. So we have a Fleet Star and a Paystar. So, yeah. Let's go ahead and recover this truck as well. So, yeah, they're both internationals. Obviously, this international is maybe 80s, 70s, where this one looks like it's more of a 50s or 60s. I don't actually really know. I think there's a guy on YouTube who actually shows you these vehicles and what their real life counterparts are. But I don't know if these are just kind of made up trucks or if these actually do have real life counterparts. But let's take a look at the map and see what we're dealing with. So we have to still do this, which I think is, you know what, let's go ahead and do that. We're only at 37 minutes or so of recording time, and I do want to make the episodes a little bit longer. So let's find the place beyond the spruces. We're going to do this in the Scouts in our good old-fashioned Chevy Silverado 1500 regular cab. I'm gonna guess that's a I'm gonna guess that does that look like an 8-foot bed? I don't think it's an 8-foot bed. I think it's a 6-foot bed. Yeah, I'm gonna call it the 6-foot bed, but not important. So let's go ahead and trail out, and I think the worst thing about this is I should have done this back when we did the watchtower. I don't think I was that far away from it. But let's go ahead and throw it in 4-wheel drive as we turn this corner. Start to head up the trail. I gotta attempt this on the first try, so I'm gonna slow down through this switchback and these rocks, because last thing I want to do is roll it, and then we have to deal with starting all over again. So hopefully I can do this within, I'm gonna say, 6 minutes, hoping, but we'll see. This is almost, I think this is the exact path I took to the watchtower. Yep, because there it is right there. So all we had to do was keep going a little bit farther. And we could have had this mission completed 10 hours ago? Maybe not 10 hours ago. Maybe, I would say at least... Oh, the trail ends. But it doesn't end. Am I on the trail? Ah, I'm still technically on the trail. I'm guessing it goes up through here. Oh, there we go, yeah. Now I can see it. Kind of switchbacks and washed out and rock slides, and let's go ahead and get the truck facing in the right direction to take this corner. Pop it in there. I've kind of wanted to always do a playthrough of the most efficient way to do all these tasks. Oh, I almost passed it. Let's go ahead and swing around and head up this hill. Although I want to kind of take this slow. Don't want to risk rolling the truck. But I do kind of want to do an efficient run of doing these tasks, but I'm not a very organized person when it comes to doing things like that, so... But with that, we are done. We are on top of a mountain, and I think this is where we're going to call it an episode. So, not too bad. I did it with about 4 minutes left to spare, so I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.